saying 10. I mean, even though we stand alone, we stand together.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare for landing. Fasten your seatbelts. Thank you for flying Air Force Airlines. Oh, me. Call me the captain. Just blaze.
They say a family that prays together stays together, and one that walks apart just falls apart. So together we stand, divided we fall, united we form Voltron and take on all. Let's move, yes. The birds left the nest. I'm all grown up, I gotta fly with the rest. Best of the best is what we strive to be.
You're watching Unpackaged Goods. I'm your host, Jonathan Dieter. Welcome back. Thursday night again. We're in the office. We're watching football. We got a real barn buster here between the Raiders and the Broncos. 7-7, third quarter. I just got back from dinner with my friend Scoro. It was great to see him. Catch up. Went out to Cozy Royale out in Brooklyn, which was really good. They had a really good burger. We had these tri-tip steak, or what were they? Steak tips? They were really good. French onion soup, salad. Got the burger. He got the chicken piccata. He's dairy free, so sometimes it's a little dicey with what he can and cannot eat, but really fun. I'm waking up early to go to Swish House. Tony's barging in. He says, "Dad, what are you doing?" He goes, "I want to chop up a pod." He's going to go sit up there. Good boy. He's so sweet. He just loves to be near me when I'm doing podcast stuff. And so this is usually his seat. So he gets a little pouty and he goes and he sits on that seat. I need a couple more cameras in here so that I can get different angles of me. Get a Tony camera where you can just see him just moping over there. Yeah, we'll work on that. A couple different cameras. I'll tell my technology team. Sponsored by B&H. You go to B&H. If I ever need anything, I go to B&H. They hook me up. My boy Coronado there, he's the man. I just tell him whatever I'm thinking of. He goes, "I got you." All right, so yeah, we're going to Swish House tomorrow early, 7 to 9 breakfast club. We're gonna ball. It's so much fun. I get such a kick out of playing basketball again. Knock on wood. Oh, that no injuries, but it is so much fun, and it's a good group of people. It's a cool gym. It's just something different, and you tap into that competitive side. I think it's good for founders, business owners, business leaders. It's just good to get competitive. So I'm just looking at the TV. I want a couple more TVs. I want to make this a real podcast studio. I would be so distracted. I'm haven't even started yet, and my ADD is just kicking in. I'm like, oh, football, oh, basketball. I'm like, food, let's go. All right, what else do we want to yap about before we dive in? Oh yeah, I am going to Happier Grocer tomorrow. From 3 to 5 in the afternoon. Kiki and Alon from Sour Milk will be there. They launched in their first retail at Happier. So super excited. Got a little gift surprise that I'm going to give them that's really cute. So I'm excited to give that to them. But yeah, it's going to be really fun. It's really cool seeing brands land in stores that they've dreamt of, seeing customers buy it in person for the first time. They compared it to dropping your kids off at college, and I don't know what that feels like, but I can imagine that's what my parents felt like. So, yeah, it's really exciting. What is so fun about being in this business is it's just supporting people on a mission and a dream, and going to LA next week. That's going to be fun. Got to schedule some meetings. I'm going to see UCLA and Arizona play. That should be really fun. In basketball, to clarify for all those who aren't sure which sport we're talking about. Yeah, let's dive in. It's 10:26. I think it's time to talk about some news. So, news segment. So, section 1, we're going to talk about the big deal of the week. This was one of the biggest CPG, if not the biggest CPG deal ever. So, the $49 billion mega deal. So, Kimberly-Clark bought Kenvue. So, $49 billion for J&J's cast-off consumer health division. So a little context here. Kenvue spun out May of 2023. Shares have been down 35% since. Their portfolio includes Tylenol, Band-Aid, Listerine, Neutrogena, and Zerbis. This is the biggest CPG deal of the decade. I said earlier it was ever, but the decade. Kenvue was struggling standalone. They needed some sort of scale. And so I think this Kimberly-Clark, they get an instant healthcare credibility that they can just add into their portfolio. These are big brands that you know and have heard of. Tylenol, Band-Aid, Listerine, Neutrogena, Zerbis. Really, I think helps aid that Kimberly-Clark healthcare portfolio. And also, like, these are brands that aren't going away. We had our interview with Trelly a couple weeks ago that's thinking about the better for you over-the-counter medication. And so something like Tylenol, I think, is at risk of being disrupted. But until then, they have a pretty big moat and a pretty big head start. And so wouldn't be surprised that these brands do really well under Kimberly-Clark. From toilet paper to Tylenol, category expansion play. So yeah, I'm gonna just really quick, let's see what the biggest CPG deal ever is. Biggest CPG deal. The biggest CPG deal ever is the Anheuser-Busch InBev acquisition of Saab Miller for $100 billion in November of 2015. Sheesh. Another massive deal in the sector was 2015 merger of Heinz Co. and Kraft Foods Group, approximately $46 billion. Bayer and Monsanto, deal worth $63 billion in 2018. Midday Squares, manufacturing muscle. So they are tripling their capacity by 2027 using debt and cash flow. Smart. Heading to 100 million, expecting 45 million CAD fiscal this year. That's a pretty quick growing business. I haven't tried this, so first non-chocolate product coming 2026. Interesting. They blocked the punt. And they're gonna crazy. Football's wild, man. Midday Squares. Kind of interesting. Kind of the play on psychedelic mushroom chocolates. Squares. Interesting. Funny name. I really like that. So I like this, though. The last couple of weeks, we've talked about the infrastructure play. We talked about Chomps and their infrastructure play. So you can see real businesses that are building factories before their unicorn valuation. They understand the importance of not only having the infrastructure, but a home base and being able to grow from that. And I think that's super important. So this Canadian success story is scaling globally. I think you're going to start to see them much more. I need to go try them. Probably like pop up, Happier I'll have them. When you see companies investing in their infrastructure, they're pretty serious about their growth. They're, staking their flag in the ground and saying, we're going to be here for the long haul. So Midday Squares. Alrighty. So some funding and acquisition news. So this was the big one of the week. Cymbiotika in their $25 million round, led by every single celebrity that you've ever heard of. So David Grootman, the Miami restaurateur legend, he is leading the way with other celebrities like Post Malone, Daymond John, Ryan Tedder. So they built this business to $150 million without equity, and now they're at target. So proof you can scale without a VC initially. And, they used a $30 million debt facility to help get them here. And so I think that that's another important thing to point out for CPG founders who are listening to this is you need to have a capital strategy and someone who's thinking through your capital strategy for you, because so many people don't understand different debt instruments and how they can be leveraged. And if done correctly, you can see in the case of Cymbiotika, they scaled massively without really giving up a lot of that equity. And now they're raising a huge $25 million seed round. So yeah, this target distribution deal really sealed the deal for them. I think they're going to be massive. I think we'll try them. I haven't tried them yet. So a couple other deals from this week. So Clearstone bought Barut, protein coffee consolidation, Rangi's Ferenzi, and Integra. So Loctane is building a scent empire. $164 million price tag. Cove raised $15 million for their Canadian soda. So they're at over 7,000 stores at this point. So they are in rapid scale mode. Miyoko founder. All right, so a little bit of context here. So Miyoko Shiner is the founder of the plant-based dairy brand Miyoko's Creamery. She's currently planning a bid to buy back the company after being removed as CEO in 2023. Shiner also previously founded a vegan food company called Now and Zen in 97 and is an author, activist, and chef. Damn. She's not fucking around. She's like, give me my money. Give me my money. Alrighty. Delicious funding. I love these little balls. These cookie dough balls with ice cream. Future Back Ventures investment. All the money in the world. I love these little cookie dough balls. And then Oddball raised $2 million seed round. So they are reimagining Jell-O with clean ingredients. I saw them in passing at Happier Grocer a couple months ago. I've seen them in stores. I need to try them. I have an itch. I'm just trying to get. Sorry. Jell-O's fun. Jell-O tastes like shit. It's like squishy and fun. It tastes like shit. So, yeah. If you can give me a good tasting Jell-O, if that's what Oddball is, all right, you may have a customer. Rich said, test it out. Jell-O's fucking silly. Sorry, I'm swearing a lot. Oh, sorry. Children, mom, pony, too much swear. I saw this. I don't know if it was a fake tweet. I got to double check. Alrighty. You know, we love talking about celebrity collabs, celebrity founders, and the category expansions. So we're going to dive in. Dua Lipa and Augustinus Bader. So she's dropping her own skincare line because everyone needs their own skincare line. I'm going to drop my own skincare line. This guy who I used to play tennis with, who went to Michigan, his name is Mike. No, not Mike. Mark Kors. Shout out Mark, if you're listening to this. He just posted on his Instagram this product that he created on Product Hunt for personalized AI skincare routines. I found it really interesting. I'm curious, and I may use that. So I don't know if this interview will ever find its way to Mark. He was a great tennis player, and I really hope that his AI skincare goes somewhere. So Mark, if you're listening to this, shout out to you. I hope you're doing well. To kick my butt. He had a really big forehand, big serve from what I remember. I used to beat him, I'm pretty sure. Oh. So Dua Lipa skincare. Because why not? Dua skincare. So many fans of hers are going to go buy her skincare product now. It's crazy. So $40 to $80 price points. She's leveraging the AB tech at accessible prices. So I think this is really smart. You know, she's taking her brand and her audience, and she's going to a established skincare company and saying, hey, make me some gold, some liquid gold, and let's sell it. It may not even actually be good, but pretty good reputation. Augustinus Bader. I'm going to pronounce it wrong every time I pronounce it. Smart IP partnership model. You can see Dua Lipa, pop superstar, worldwide, partners with a skincare company. Think this makes a lot of sense. Luxury tech meets mass market star. So I think this is the play. You know, you see other celebrities that have gotten into this. I think partnering with a really established brand makes sense. So the new celebrity playbook, partner, don't start. Alrighty. Category innovation. So Weld Energy, 18 grams of protein, 200 milligrams of caffeine. Sheesh. We're looking at a January launch for this. That's a lot of caffeine. That's a lot of protein. That's two things that I don't think they need to go together. Weird. Willie's Remedy plus shots. So THC beverages going concentrated. Interesting. I think this is a problem or a mistake waiting to happen for someone who doesn't realize that it's a concentrated shot and takes maybe too many of these and then is high off their ass. So warning label. This has a lot of THC in it. Be careful. The drinks don't really affect me. I like the Louis Louis. I think it's nice. It's just like a seltzer. Lemmy colostrum. So the Kardashians are entering the wellness trend. I like the Lemmy products. I've had their sleep ones. They knock me out. Don't know what's in them. So, yeah, I'm sure they'll do well. They have cute packaging. They're everywhere. Bakchans and Laoban, Taiwanese popcorn chicken collab. This is really cute. I love popcorn chicken. I haven't had popcorn chicken in a while, and that sounds really good. So I think I'm going to try that. Athletic Brewing and Vans Warped Tour. This is an interesting collab and not one I expected. They are doing a side stage brew, they're calling it. And they're calling it, it's a fruity pale ale. I never went to Warped Tour growing up. It wasn't my type of music. I had a friend in high school, Martin Presley, called him Buddha. Shout out Buddha. You're the man. Miss you, buddy. And he used to go every summer. He used to love this. I am making an assumption that a lot of the people who went, who are my age and slightly older, early to mid 30s, are people who aren't drinking anymore. And so I think this athletic collab actually makes a lot of sense. Genius. And that's why they're dominating the NA space, is because they're integrating themselves into places where they have a consumer that is more likely to try their product than other places. What I mean by that, this concert is nostalgic for a lot of people. So you're going to have a lot of people in their 30s and 40s and older who are going, who don't drink anymore. So Athletic knows that. They're taking advantage of that with a collab beer. Very smart. Unwell Hydration, Alex Cooper. She is getting into the energy drink play. This is a no-brainer. I think she sees the money on the table with Bloom and Nua and says, I need to have an energy drink too. So good for her. Alrighty, a couple distribution quick hits before we get into our interview with the founder of Dirty Gut. This is a really cool one. He is still in college at Babson in Boston. He has created a pre- and postbiotic better for you chocolate. And he's coming after Hershey's. So I really enjoyed my conversation with Daniel. We'll get into that here in a little bit. But before we do, a couple distribution quick hits. So Once Upon a Coconut is at Wegmans. Soccer Bit, the Swedish candy, is at Target. Highs is at 600 Albertson stores. And Low and Slow is at Sam's Club in Texas. I'd say it's a little bit of a lighter week in terms of news so far. Here we are at Thursday. We've had a couple big splashy finance headlines, but otherwise kind of a slow week. So that's it for the news segment. If you haven't yet, please do like, subscribe, rate us 5 stars. If you're listening to this, please, it helps us with our podcast placement and how we get featured to different new users. And so if you're listening to this and you haven't rated us 5 stars yet, please do. It means the world to me. And yeah, I would love any ideas that you guys have for coming weeks in terms of structure, people to have on. I'm all ears. So I have a couple things cooking, but I always love getting feedback directly from people. It really means the world to me. So without further ado, Dirty Gut.
Hey, what's going on, Daniel? How you doing?
How are you, Jonathan?
Not too bad. Thanks for joining. You're up in Boston?
Yeah, I'm right outside. I'm in Wellesley, which is like 25 minutes outside of Boston.
Did you go to Babson, or did I see that correctly on Instagram?
Yeah, I go there right now.
Oh, wow. You go there right now. It's so cool. What year are you?
I'm a senior, so I'm almost done.
Oh, epic. I went to Connecticut College, so we used to play Babson in tennis.
Oh, really?
So that's like my experience with Babson. We used to come up, play you guys. So I've been on the campus maybe like twice. So yeah, I knew some people who played there. So they had a great time. You like it? You like Boston?
Yeah, it's grown on me. I didn't really like it. I mean, I love Babson, but like the city has grown on me in the past 4 years. I'm just not a fan of the cold.
Me neither. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Maryland, so it's still pretty much the same. Like I've never been a fan of the cold unless it snows.
That's all right. I'm the same way. I was born and raised in LA, so I really had no experience with the cold. And then I moved to outside of Cleveland when I was 14, and that was like my rude awakening to the cold and snow.
I thought you were to go from LA to
all my family is originally from Cleveland, and so I have like family roots there. So yeah, it is a rude awakening, Mel. It was a culture shock for sure.
yeah, I can imagine.
That's hilarious. So Maryland up to Babson. Any plans after school besides building your dirty gut empire?
Oh, just that. I'm not sure where I'm gonna live yet, but the plan's definitely dirty gut. I just kind of have to figure out where I'll be based out of.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Any like early inclinations of where you'd like to be?
I don't know. It's tough because a lot of my good friends are actually younger, like the grade below me in Babson, and I know a lot
Yeah.
of older. Like I have a pretty strong network in Babson of whether they were students or people I've met or people in CPG.
Yeah.
Like I like the warm weather, so that's one option. The other option is LA, but that'd also be pretty expensive. And LA feels very performative to me. Like everyone's trying to flex on each other, which I'm not a big fan of. So maybe like San Diego would be better, or Florida.
I'm impressed with your very accurate reading of LA. That has always been my hesitation to moving back. It's like a big pissing contest, and I've never liked that. That's why I like New York. Like, and it feels most like home, as it really doesn't matter who you are. You show up and you work hard and you hustle, and it doesn't matter who you are.
You live in the city?
Yeah, I live in the city. I'm in downtown, in a small little park called Battery Park City. So if you take like the Freedom Tower and where the World Trade Center was and go directly west, I'm on the water. So I'm looking at the Hudson River, and then the Freedom Tower is like right there.
It's very nice.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a nice little pocket of the city. I have a dog, so there are a bunch of dog parks down here. So he's a big boy. He's a 120-pound pit bull lab chow chow. His name is Rigatoni. He's the man. I usually talk about him more than myself, but
I just want to give you a little bit of background then too. So I grew up really overweight when I was younger, and then about what was it, 8 years ago now. So I mean, I was young. I was going into 8th grade, but I got sick of it, and one summer I lost 40 pounds, and so that kind of transformed my life. I was a kid, so I didn't really think about what I was eating too much, but obviously up until that point, I did not care about food or health whatsoever. But then after that, I really started to think a lot about health and wellness and what I was putting into my body. And at the same time, I've been a very just like entrepreneurial person since I was young. So like I was the type of kid who'd be auctioning off my toys to my brother when I was younger.
I love that.
Random projects all throughout my life. And then about a year and a half ago, I was looking for a healthier chocolate because I really do love sweets. I really love them.
Me too.
I realized there was been very little innovation in the chocolate category in 100 years. So pretty much the same chocolate you'd buy today is about the same as like what your great grandmother would buy 100 years ago, just with even more extra unnecessary additives. But at its core, it's cocoa, highly processed sugar, and milk powder if it's a milk chocolate.
Yeah.
And so I started seeing that and how in other categories there become much better for you options like Poppy or Olipop or really like all different categories. So I thought, why can't I just make a healthier chocolate? And so that's kind of where the initial inception of Dirty Gut came from. Launched it in April, just this one flavor, the dark chocolate, into some local retail stores and then a bit online, but that's mostly just organic, so pretty much just in the retail stores. And it sold really well. It gave me a chance to get a lot of feedback from customers and from buyers at the grocery stores. And so I went back this summer to start building out more of a complete product line and ironing out the supply chain and the manufacturing operations, like professionalizing it so it's really ready to scale. And so in January, I'd say I wouldn't call it a relaunch, but like this year has been like a test or like soft launch.
Yeah.
January is a hard launch, coming out with 3 different flavors. So I'll have a new and improved dark chocolate, a sea salt crunch flavor, and then a milk chocolate made with A2 dairy.
Ooh, nice.
It's higher fiber, less sugar, and then the live probiotics in every single piece. So that's kind of where I'm at. Still relatively early, but it's been going good so far.
That's so cool. I love the willingness to want to test things early on. I think that's important to like get customer feedback and like, do people like it? Do they not like the A2 dairy too is having a moment. So I think that's smart. It's better for your tummy, better for your gut. I too have stomach problems, like have gone to see stomach doctors and so like trying to find things that are easier in the gut, easier for the stomach, that you can get your probiotics, your prebiotics, your postbiotics. So tell me a little bit more about like what went into like the early days of like trying to make it.
So are you familiar with Startup CPG?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of just went on there and I started trying to meet a ton of people. And I met this one lady who was starting a chocolate company in like a bit of a different niche. And she connected me with the person who was developing the chocolate for her. And so I connected with him. And then he was also the production manager at a chocolate co-packing facility. And so I worked with him to kind of build out the chocolate. That was over last summer, so in 2024. That process took a while, not even necessarily making the recipe, but getting everything else in order, like the packaging and getting the molds, because it's a custom shape. So we had to get custom molds made and just tons of random things that I was learning, like the flow wrapper packaging needs to unwind in this random direction. And so I worked with them and I was able to launch it in April. And then kind of ever since they did my first couple production runs, but I learned so much by working with them that I was able to find much better manufacturing partners now. So going forward, it's just been a lot of meeting people, learning from people. I mean, I guess similar to what you're doing too, just trying to meet as many people as possible.
Being on a college campus, what's it like starting a CPG company? Do you always have a bag with you? Are you trying to promote it? Are there been natural pop-ups, like partnerships with like Greek life? No, Babson doesn't have Greek life, if I remember.
I have 3 friends.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what's that been like, trying to get the word out?
Yeah, it's been cool. I mean, Babson, like as I'm sure you know, is like their thing is entrepreneurship. So there's a lot of people with businesses. For whatever reason, I think maybe just because it's like a fun business, it's definitely gotten out. Like I think the majority of Babson students have tried it or have seen it before, which is cool. So I have pretty good awareness, at least on Babson's campus. And I've done a couple pop-ups with them, like sampling. Like I did one yesterday, actually. That went well. Yeah, it's been fun. It's cool to it's cool to see my friends and random people like come up and be like, "Can I try the chocolate?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely."
For sure. I think that's the coolest thing about the CPG space is it like has such an emotional connection. When people taste things, it reminds them of something nostalgic from their childhood or a taste or a flavor that they just really resonate with. And
Yeah.
Chocolate's interesting. I come from a family that loves chocolates. Like chocolate boxes were really big at Christmas time. And so, my dad loves chocolates. He has a sweet tooth. And so dirty gut. I'm gonna have to get some of these for him. So you mentioned like smaller retailers, just like in the Boston area. Is that like still something you're pursuing, or kind of taking a holistic approach on the retail strategy side?
For this year, the focus has been smaller retailers just because I can like walk into the store and deliver the orders to them and build relationships and sample very frequently. Going forward, I signed on with a broker for the natural channel. It's called Green Spoon. I think they're pretty, and I'm working
Yeah.
with the brands team. So they'll be helping me going forward. The strategy for 2026 is mostly just natural channel because I think that's kind of where my core customer lies.
Yeah.
And, hopefully we'll see. Like the main target is it'd be cool to get into Sprouts. Like I really want to get into Sprouts. And then just mostly at the start focusing on smaller retailers on the East Coast and building like really strong distribution network on the East Coast. And then after we kind of get that a good foundation, then looking more at West Coast and Central. And then also the e-commerce will be a pretty big piece next year. The thing is, this year I haven't produced that much because I haven't had my manufacturer. Like they were just horrible to work with, the original one. But the new line's being produced by a new one, and also all more funding, so be able to produce much bigger quantities than before, which would be nice.
Nice. That's super cool. It's all learning experience, right? It's like the first co-packer, you're like, oh wow, I was doing it that way. And then you go find another one that can do so much more. And you're like, wow, I can't believe I was doing it like in the Stone Age. I love the packaging. You've kind of like, it's very eye-catching. How'd you come up with that?
It was a lot of research in like I just spent a lot of time in the chocolate aisle and like
Good.
trying to figure out colors that would stand out and like a
Yes.
color scheme that I could own, because I really wanted to own a color scheme.
Yeah.
After like all that research, I kind of landed on like the blue and yellow. And the new product line, there's a bit more of a differentiator with like the colors that are
Cool.
coming out. But yeah. So it was just a lot of research.
That's smart. You have to spend a lot of time in the aisle of a lot of different stores of whatever aisle you're trying to disrupt, whether it's a chocolate or a different type of snack or dairy, or you got to just like study the other brands, what they look like. Like, I think the biggest thing is like, is it going to catch the consumer's eye? Like, people have ADHD. No one has the attention span for anything in like today's economy. And so like, if you can be the product that you're like, I want to try that, like, that's going to be like, and then once they try it and they're like, oh wow, this is really good and it's nostalgic, and like that's how you gain consumers. So I think you're thinking about it the right way. I really, it caught my eye and I was excited to talk to you, and thank you so much for like just wanting to take time. And so like, as you think, I love hearing the strategy from like, you're still in school. I think
Yeah.
that's awesome. You're balancing that. You're still like, just, I'm sure, enjoying school and like having fun, but like you still have the challenges of like growing a business while like I'm sure a lot of your classmates are like going into traditional like corporate jobs. So what's it like kind of like looking, kind of like sticking to your ethos, sticking to like your why? Like what, I guess, what would you say is your why? You kind of touched on it a little bit in the beginning with like the health journey, but how do you really like stick to that as you kind of have distractions with your friends going in other directions and career?
Yeah, I don't mean for this to be like a cop-out answer, but it's just never been like I was telling my parents when I was like 5 that I'd be a business owner. And I've just never strayed from that vision. Like there was never another option in my mind really. And so it
Yes.
hasn't, like there's never been a time where I've thought about like, oh, like maybe I should go work somewhere. So it's just like, I know that's kind of like, it's not the best answer, but
No, I love it.
it's
I
just
can
like
really,
born with, you know what I mean?
I feel you. Your thoughts on like some of the retailers here. Like, would you ever want to get into a pop-up grocer or a happier grocer or some of those kind of like, they call them shoppy shops, kind of bougier shops?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you say pop-up grocery. They actually emailed me again this morning because we had talked a few months ago. Or maybe happier grocery. I'm not sure how they work. I think some of like the trendier spots would be cool in New York. I think like long term, once I get into bars and can compete more directly against a company like Hershey's, like getting into there's like thousands of bodegas in New York,
Yes.
or like corner shops that I think would be a good spot. But yeah, in the meantime, I think I'm kind of focusing on like the bigger chains that just may happen to be.
Like that. I think that's smart for you. And like in terms of like what's your preferred shelf placement? Or do you like to be like front of the store, kind of like grab and go by the cash register, or like in the chocolate aisle?
In the chocolate aisle.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be nice to be grab and go by the cash register, but that's like the prime position. So
Yeah.
I mean, in the chocolate,
Work up to that.
yeah, like the main spot.
I love that. I love that. And so you mentioned a couple different SKUs. Any other things like in the works that you're thinking about?
Not as of now. There'll probably I'll maybe add 1 or 2 more flavors next year, but the goal right now is just to focus on like the core 3 and then go from there. Maybe another flavor could be like a way to entice like Sprouts or something, or Whole Foods to get like
Yeah.
an exclusive flavor. But yeah, the focus right now is just those core 3.
And is it just you, or do you have a co-founder?
No, I mean, day to day, it's just me and contractors, and I have some great advisors too.
I love it.
Yeah, day to day, it's just me.
I love it. I think you're in a really cool spot. I think you're going after a nostalgic like part of the grocery store in a thoughtful way that is like, hey, like this is friendly for your gut. Like this is actually going to be good for your tummy. Can you actually like hit on the ingredients again? I know you touched on them earlier, but can you just walk me through what's in it?
Yeah, I mean the current version is just chocolate, coconut sugar, a probiotic, and then a postbiotic. Postbiotics are like the good compounds that probiotics create.
Yeah.
The new version that's coming out, it's chocolate, or like cocoa, coconut sugar, a blend of 3 different fibers, and then a blend of 4 different probiotics.
Nice.
So it's pretty
And
simple. Like the chocolate's like a healthy chocolate plus the ingredients.
Where do you get the chocolate cocoa powder from, or just the chocolate from?
The cocoa, the new one, it's coming from Africa, but it's been coming from Ecuador.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool. I love that. And then I guess like unrelated to food, I guess, what do you like to do in your free time when you're not working on the business, which I know is all the time?
I mean, go to the gym, hang out with my friends, cook, eat at good restaurants.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed getting to just chat with you. I'm really excited for you. I think you're gonna crush it. What would be like your biggest learning you'd say so far?
I guess the biggest like realization was just that everyone is like, my biggest realization I think is that everybody is just a human at the end of the day. Like I feel like a lot of people put like the grocery buyers or investors on pedestals, and I've realized it's just not that deep in like any circumstance. Like the people are just doing their job, and I think that's been the biggest unlock for me in terms of like building relationships with people, realizing that like we're all kind of on the same playing field, and that nobody, like maybe they're in like a position where they can help you a lot, but like nobody is really like up here. You know what I mean? Like we're all just people at the end of the day.
You're wise beyond your years, my friend. It is refreshing to hear someone say that, because that is really the name of the game. Is we're just all humans at the end of the day. We're all just trying to figure out how we can help each other. There's no one that's more important than someone else. And
Yeah.
if someone's like trying to act like that, it's probably because they're trying to cover up something else. And so, well, I certainly want to be helpful for you as you're growing on this journey. Like you, I think you're an awesome, human, and I think you're going to build a really great business that I'm excited to try eventually. I got to order some maybe online, since you're not in New York yet. But Daniel, this was great. Best of luck, and yeah, I look forward to staying in touch.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks, brother. You too.